Daufuskie has like a lot of different spellings, okay?
Okay, let's hear some.
Daufuskie is D-A-U-F-U-S-K-I-E, okay? Some people do Fuskie, F-U-S-K-I-E. They'll just say Fuskie. A lot of the natives here say Fuskie. And you can see on some of the stuff I have in the house. And then you got D-A-F-U-S-K-I, Daufuskie. And on some of the charts, the maritime charts, it's old ones are D-A-F-U-S-K-I. So, you know, some people put D-A-U. So how do you spell Daufuskie? It's based on how do you want to spell Daufuskie.
I love it here. I feel like when you're here, you go back 40 years in time. I mean, you really do. It's quiet. There's wildlife all over the place. It's very rural, and it's just a peaceful place to be. That's probably the best way I can describe it. I actually acquired the land through my neighbor, Norbert.
Sure, he's my neighbor, Ted Franks. And he's been an awesome friend. I bought this property, I'll be 70 years old in this July, and I bought this 1 year out of college at 26 for the purpose of building these houses after I retired. In fact, I'll tell you this, when I was gonna build just a house myself. I wasn't gonna build with somebody else. And a lot of people wanted to build with me and stuff like that. And my wife said no. And my wife said, Norbert, out of all the people you know, the only person that I would want as a neighbor is Ted.
The minute he asked me, really, the minute he asked, I said, I'm in. So, to walk through a little bit of the process about the selection of the house, Norbert really did an awful good amount of research about who to work with, what kind of model that we wanted, and through a little bit of online shopping and kicking around a little bit, we actually wound up with Clayton Homes in Hinesville.
So I called, and Stephanie answered the phone, I believe, and she became my salesperson.
And Stephanie came to me and she said, is this something we can do? And I'm like, there is not a bridge that goes to Daufuskie Island. Everything is by barge or boat. I have no idea. I don't even know where to begin. I was a nervous Nelly. What if something went wrong? I mean, how do I fix it? How do I claim on my insurance that a home fell off a barge into a river? I mean, all these things were going through my head. And anyway, we got Mr. Norbert came by, Mr. Ted came by, we sat down, we got some ideas on some floor plans, and we just started working out. We had spent a lot of three-way calls, a lot of text messages, a lot of emails, back and forth between all of us.
I'd say overall, I couldn't be more happy with that entire experience. It was professional, but it was also personal, because I think that Pam and Steph had an invested emotional interest to actually make this thing happen on Daufuskie. Things came up, we had to get it on the barge, and you've got the chassis, and you've got to schedule it, and there's all the logistics and the coordination. And we said to them, have you ever done this before? And they said, no, we haven't. You know what? We're up to the task. We're gonna get this thing done. And it worked out great. And the funny thing about it is that when that barge comes, it's almost like going to a coffee shop in a small town, because everybody that's got something on that barge is sitting there waiting for their stuff to come out. It's like a bunch of little kids. It doesn't matter whether it's a truck or it's building materials or whatever it is. That's like the gathering place in the morning when that barge gets there, because everybody's like, ooh, I want to get my stuff off. I can't wait to get my stuff off. It was beyond description, actually, to see not only the homes in the barge, but them taking them off to the barge and driving them through a very, very narrow dirt road back here, making the corners and the property to make the cut to get it here was like incredible.
Oh yeah, it was like a big parade going through town. I mean, it was like we had, I don't know if the guy was like the mayor, but it was the guy that had the golf cart rental, and he was a photographer also, and he was coming and explaining a lot of things and talking to everybody. I mean, and everybody was excited and kind of joined in. It was like a parade for getting the homes to the site. It was really neat. We had our own setup crew that we use here all the time. It was Josh and John. They were actually twins. To watch these two guys, and they're like, and they're just moving their hands around, and it's like they have their own sign language, and it was really, really neat to watch them. It's these experiences, it's the overall opportunities and experiences that we have. Everybody was supportive enough to help us, do this, and so it's the opportunities that we get, and that's why I love working for Clayton.
We're on Daufuskie Island, a place we call the Oyster Republic. It's kind of like a dream. It was a goal, and it's so nice that it was able to be accomplished.